The biggest addition to Rust in the 2020 July update are cars, so you probably want to know everything about them before you hop onto a server and try them out. Well, you've come to the right place, as in this episode of the Rust Beginner's Guide, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about cars in Rust. The first thing you will need to make a good car is a car lift. The easiest way of getting one is by buying one from the Airwolf compound at the bandit camp for 175 scrap. It can be researched for 125 scrap and can be crafted at a level 2 workbench for 1000 metal fragments, 10 high quality metal, and 3 gears. It needs a roughly 2 1/3 by 1 1/3 regular foundations worth of space to place down and uses 1 power in order to operate. You also need to place it in a place that is accessible with vehicles, as you'll need to drive your car up here in order to modify it. Once you have your car up on the car lift, you can simply drag and drop modules into the chassis, but you have to remove all the contents of modules before removing them. As a side note, I'll tell you that the car lift will not lower the car back down unless it has an engine module and a cockpit module attached. You can also use car lifts to repair damaged modules in your car. Now that you have a car lift to customize your car, you'll need to find a car to customize. There are 3 variations of cars in Rust, ones with 2 module slots, ones with 3 module slots, and ones with 4 module slots. From my experience, the 3 sizes of cars seem to be equally likely to spawn. You can usually find cars along roads and at Oxum's gas station, so if you can't find one, I recommend going through parts of the road near sparsely populated areas or heading to your local gas station. When you find a car, you might think that that's it, and you can drive away after loading it up with low-grade fuel, but that simply isn't the case, as first you need to put engine parts into the engine module. There are 3 tiers of engine parts: low-quality parts, which can be found in these toolboxes at Oxum's gas station, the abandoned supermarket, and the mining outpost. Along with a low-quality part with half health, these crates also contain 8 scrap each. You can also find low and medium quality parts inside cars that spawn at Oxum's gas station. All low-quality engine parts can be researched for 75 scrap each and crafted at a level 1 workbench for 2 high-quality metal each. Medium-quality parts, which can be purchased at the Airwolf compound at the bandit camp for 50 or 75 scrap depending on the part, and all medium-quality engine parts can be researched for 125 scrap each and crafted at a level 2 workbench for 5 high-quality metal each. And high-quality parts, which can be purchased at the outpost for 75 and 125 scrap depending on the part. Each tier of engine parts is a significant upgrade over the previous one, as each level of parts increases the car's top speed, acceleration, and fuel efficiency. I will also note that the condition of the engine, as in how much health it has, also affects its stats. And just in case you were wondering, yes, different tiers of engine parts can be mixed inside one engine. And also keep in mind that as your engine takes damage over time, so will your engine parts, so over time they will break, but you can easily repair them at a repair bench for some high quality metal. There are 2 types of engines. The first one is the regular engine module, which requires 1 carburetor, 1 crankshaft, 2 pistons, 2 spark plugs, and 2 valves to operate. A medium quality full set of these parts will set you back 450 scrap at the Airwolf compound, or can be crafted for 40 high quality metal if you have them researched. And a high quality set of these parts will set you back 690 scrap at the outpost. And the second type of engine is a part of the cockpit with engine car module, which requires 1 carburetor, 1 crankshaft, 1 piston, 1 spark plug, and 1 valve to operate. A medium quality full set of these parts will set you back 300 scrap at the Airwolf compound, or can be crafted for 25 high quality metal if you have them researched. And the high quality set of these parts will set you back 465 scrap at the outpost. Now let's move on to the different modules you can have fitted to your car chassis at a car lift. I'll be showing you all the modules along with a short description of what they can do. First, we have the cockpit, which uses 1 slot on your car and can seat 2 players, a driver and a passenger. It has 360 health. Next up, we have the armored cockpit, which is functionally identical to the regular cockpit, but it is heavily armored and has a maximum health of 700. Next up, we have the cockpit with engine module, which is also similar to the regular cockpit except for the fact that it has a built-in smaller engine. It has 425 health. Next up, we have the extra seats modules, of which we have 2. The first one is the rear seats vehicle module, which needs 1 slot and can seat an additional 2 players in your car. It has 275 health. And the second one is the passenger module, which uses 2 slots in your car and can seat an additional 6 players. It has 525 health. Next, we have the 2 sizes of flatbed modules. The first one uses 1 slot and can be used to stand on. It has 250 health. and the second one uses 2 slots and is basically just a larger place to stand on. It has 375 health. Next up, we have the storage module, which uses 1 slot and can be used to store 18 slots worth of items. It has 275 health. Next, we have the fuel tank module, which uses 2 slots and can be filled up to 200,000 milliliters of a liquid, but currently in Rust you can only load it up with water, even though it's called a fuel tank. It has 325 health. And finally, we have the engine module, which uses 1 slot and can be used to power your car. It has 300 health. All modules can be researched for 125 scrap and can be crafted at a level 2 workbench for a combination of wood, metal fragments, and high quality metal. The only exception to this is the armored cockpit, which can only be crafted at a level 3 workbench. The overall health of your car is determined by the sum of the healths of all of its components. Most of the time you should stick to driving on the road, as cars can easily get damaged on even the smallest of bumps when going off-road. If your car is damaged, you can repair it with a hammer or at a car lift. The cost of repairs is usually metal fragments and wood, but sometimes also requires high quality metal. If your car reaches 0 health, you will be thrown out of it and it will become unrepairable, and if shot a few times more, it will break apart. A car will decay in 3 hours if left outside, but this number increases to 30 hours if stored inside a garage. You can also put locks on your cars. Locks can be installed at a car lift for 75 metal fragments, and additional car keys can be created at a car lift for 15 metal fragments each. You have to be careful to not lose the key though, as anyone with the key can access your car. If a car is locked, it is only accessible with the key, but if the cockpit's health falls below 15%, people will have the option to destroy the lock and take your car. Locking a car also locks all the modules, so people can't steal your engine parts if the car is locked. I hope this video helped you, and if you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it helps me out quite a bit. If you really enjoyed this video, you can consider becoming one of my patrons on patreon.com/thememishgamer. You can also follow me on Twitch and join my Discord server. I would like to thank Gucciberg, Dimitri, and Bothered Nickel for being my patrons. And thank you guys so much for helping me reach 6,000 subscribers.